everybody. Welcome back to The Point of View. I am Crystal Holliday.
Sage and Molly.
And today we're going to be talking about food, exercise, and obesity. And we're going to turn it over to Sage first.
Okay. I just really wanted to just touch bases on the American diet and like how we grow up thinking like, oh, I should drink cow's milk, I should eat a certain amount of meat, and as long as I like stay within the guidelines, you know, I'll be fine. And recent studies have shown that a meat-based diet and like a diet that's rich in dairy is really like adversely productive to like our systems as a whole. So it's just like crazy to know that the literature and the research is out there, but like health organizations aren't giving us that information. For example, like the Susan G. Komen Foundation, it has been known to take money from companies like Tyson Chicken, knowing that chicken and other meats have been linked to cancers and linked to causing cancer. Yeah. So it's just crazy to know that all this information is out there, but somehow we're not receiving it. We're being told that we need to consume these things that doctors know are hurting us in the long run.
And I think that when it comes, especially chicken, if you notice, you see chicken everywhere. You see Popeye's chicken. You see Chick-fil-A. You see Kentucky Fried Chicken. Because it's so widely consumed, especially in the African-American neighborhood, it just seems like it's chicken everywhere. Our diet is a direct link to obesity, to diabetes, because especially type 2 diabetes, a direct link to type 2 diabetes is your diet, the way you're eating, lack of exercise. You know, what I don't like is how they try to make everything seem like it's good for you. Eat the latest thing on Chick-fil-A chicken versus Popeye's chicken versus Chick-fil-A chicken. All the chicken is bad for you, as far as I'm concerned. All the chicken is bad for you. Now, the reason why Japan only had 4% obesity compared to the United States 32% obesity is the way they eat. They always have bok choy, cabbage, or some type of vegetable on the plate along with rice. Rice is very low in carbs, you know, so food is a culprit. What is your opinion on this food issue?
Well, I love food. And you know, food is, I mean, we need it to live, but what's that saying? You live to eat or eat to live? I think us, especially Americans, we live to eat sometimes. Yeah. We like to eat to celebrate, or just to come together, or just like, you know, in family, or be depressed, or we just have cravings. I know in families you pass down different recipes and it makes it special. So food is just a part of our culture, and just especially African Americans, we like to season well, and we take pride in having good food. Yes. So I love food. When I think of food, I always think about Thanksgiving, because in America, you know, that's like a big holiday. And it's two things I love: it's collard greens and sweet potatoes. You gotta have good sweet potatoes, especially. But those two things are things that you can find on health, you know, good stuff health-wise in it. I know collard greens have vitamin A and C and calcium, vitamin K, iron, vitamin B6 and magnesium. And sweet potatoes have fiber, and you know, that helps with your digestive.
Keep you full.
Yes, it's high in antioxidants. So certain things at Thanksgiving, or the things that we take pride in making African Americans, it is some good health benefits, especially if you do it right. But I know that they kind of, in America, they thrive on the guilty pleasures, which is like sugar. And I wish I knew more about it, but I know sugar has an effect to where it can be addictive. And I know that they put sugar in things that you don't even think sugar is in. They even put in potato chips. Anything, if you look at the back, sugar is a big part of it. Yeah, so
you always say high. Yeah.
So, yeah, But you was talking about Japan, and I know that in Japan we have things that we love, but in Japan they don't even sell it. Like M&M's, Skittles, Cheetos.
Yeah.
But their thing is if it's too sweet or if it's unhealthy, they pay attention to that. And they're like, I'm not gonna.
But another thing with Japan, like the kids, they usually ride their bikes to school. They walk everywhere. Very rare they don't, of course don't have Uber. They don't have Uber. But they are more physical. And that's the reason why the women in Japan live about 4 to 5 years longer than the women in the United States. But the fact that the United States is 32% overweight, that is a problem.
And that number is projected to go up. And it's crazy because you think about the foods we consume in the United States, and Kayla was saying, like, we can't export those sweets. We can't export a lot of things. We can't export sweets. We can't export meat. It's so many things that we can't send to other countries because the United States makes it unhealthy to consume.
That's something.
You know, that's really something.
It really is. It's a shame. And one more thing that I wanted to put out there, this is like my last main point. Going back to the societies and the just research foundations that are taking money from these companies that put out products that are against their mission, essentially. So we have the American Diabetes Association. So if you're fighting diabetes, you should be fighting everything that causes diabetes. A meat-based diet, a sugar-based diet. Yet they take money from Dannon, Kraft, Bumblebee, which counts as processed foods. American Cancer Society, taking money from Tyson, taking money from the Yum Association, who makes products for Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell, which is all types of processed meats. Susan G. Komen, what I personally have donated over $100 to this foundation, being personally affected by breast cancer. Taking money from KFC, Dietz and Watson specifically makes processed based meats, and if you don't live in like the northeast section of the country, Dietz and Watson makes hot dogs, makes lunch meat, makes cheese, but all of it is processed. And American Heart Association literally takes the most money from the most foundations. We have Subway, Domino's, Purdue Chicken, Nestle, Kraft, Mars. We have Tyson, Cargill. The list goes on and on. But I say all of this to say, it's just crazy to know, like, y'all are out here literally taking money from these companies, and it's hard for me as a consumer to think that your intentions are pure anymore, because now you have to please these people who you're taking money from. So you can't say I'm trying to cure cancer, but I want to take money from the people causing cancer. So it just goes back to our whole model of our health system. It's really just to treat the disease, not to cure the disease or to prevent the disease. We want to keep you sick for as long as possible.
And in the case of the diabetes, instead of the doctor telling you control what you're eating, they rather pump you with pills. This pill for that pill for that. Sometimes they give you 2 of the same pills that do exactly the same thing. And so many people do not want to question their doctor. They don't want to question their doctor. You know, and the doctors, they are the main people getting a lot of money, writing bunches of prescriptions. Half the time they don't even examine you, and they give you a prescription. It's sad. It's really sad.
So food and money kind of go hand in hand. It's like a business. They took food and made it a business. And when you think about like natural food or healthy food, it's a lot of healing properties in, you know, natural food if you do your research. And it's like these big companies took other foods and putting stuff in it like meat and just overly putting sugar and salt in the diet and kind of doing a reverse effect. Okay, you can use food to heal or to get better, you know, when you're sick, you know what to eat and stuff. Yes. But they're taking the food and making us sick.
Doing whatever. In the case of the seedless watermelons. Well, I'm going to go back to that. You know, you cannot find a seeded watermelon. You have to search for a truck to find a seeded watermelon. You see seedless watermelons everywhere. Everywhere. And what does that say? They don't care. Yeah, it's about the dollar bill. That seedless watermelon causes cancer. It says it, you know, in research, it says it causes cancer, the way it breaks down. and everything. So
I just think that I just want to encourage everybody to like not eat any processed meats, because processed meats are labeled as like a level 1 carcinogen, which is the same as like tobacco. So let's just stop the processed meats. That's like my last. Alone, if you can, leave the red meats alone too, and very, very limit every other kind of meat that exists.
yes.
Yes, and food can be a good experience for us. It's such a big part of our lives, so we can get back to, you know, cooking in the kitchen with each other and finding out different recipes. I know we love our tacos, our meatless tacos. We love stuff like that. Even on Instagram, they got, you know, vegan recipes and stuff. So it's fun to learn how to do that. I know the most consumed fruit is apples and oranges, so at least, you know, we're getting some fruit in there. You can put it in a smoothie, you know, so you can make it easy. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but just being more mindful, and just, if you don't know where to start, just start off natural. Just know that you eating, you know, fruits or vegetables. Get it in your system. But let's just, you know, get back to cooking and knowing what we eat.
And let's get back to moving. I mean, even if you're just walking a half an hour a day and then work up to an hour a day, we have to get up and move, especially with these sit-down jobs. These sit-down jobs, they want you to sit for 8 hours. They give you 2 15-minute breaks, and then they give you a half an hour for lunch. And half the time you're trying to eat, and well, I don't eat in no half an hour, but you have to try to move, get more active. That's why Japan is beating us when it comes down to obesity, because we're just sitting, you know, and not doing anything. But we're going to change that, huh? We're going to change that. So I just thank y'all for tuning in. You have anything else?
Yeah, no, that was just my last tidbit. Don't eat processed meats. Stay far, far away from the processed meats. Not good for you at all. Yeah, that was my final word.
But again, thank you for tuning in to Point of View. Like and subscribe, and please comment on what we're talking about. I mean, we definitely want to hear what you have to say. So I am Crystal Holliday,
Sage and Holly,
And Shakayla.
and as always, be blessed.